bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
Hi everybody, Mark Curtis again with another edition of Comcast Newsmakers. I want to talk about people helping people today in these tough times, and we've got some good ideas. And joining us again is a regular guest now on the show, David Rice from the Tri-Valley Community Foundation. You're the president and CEO of that organization, which is kind of the umbrella for a lot of groups that help people in need. And let's talk about that today, David. Good to have you here, first of all.
Thanks, Mark.
You folks run an emergency fund, and I would imagine in times like this, you're getting a lot of calls for help, and you also need donations. So make your pitch for the emergency fund.
Well, the emergency fund is set up so that people of all interests, whether they have an interest in education or healthcare, mental health, seniors, youth, can contribute to a single place, and then our board of directors distributes those funds out to a variety of organizations throughout the East Bay and the Tri-Valley. And there are many services that are needed by a single family, and so these wraparound services that we provide can provide food or mental health services, dental care, those kinds of things.
Right, and I would imagine in times like this, not only are donations down, but the demand is up because more and more people are unemployed. So what's your pitch to help get people to deal with that?
Well, the interesting thing is that we've actually had a number of donations go down, but they've been replaced by brand new donors who I think have, through the media programs such as this, have responded with checks, $10, $25, $50, $100, and they're really increasing in the size of the small donations, although a lot of the larger donations are down.
Okay. It's not unlike the presidential campaign this year where they got a lot of small donations, and it makes a critical mass if you get a lot of them, so that's okay. Let's mention the website, and folks can get more information on the emergency fund there. It's www.tvcfoundation.org, and they can find out about all the things you do, right? Let's talk about mental health in the VA hospital. That's another area you're getting into now and helping them provide some mental health services over at the VA. Explain why and what you're doing.
Well, one of the interesting things that we found throughout the Tri-Valley is that mental health services are in desperate need and demand. And the number of providers are hard pressed because as people are laid off and their insurance falters, there's not a lot of money to provide for mental health services for these families. And it really is a critical issue. And one of the areas that we're finding a tremendous need in is with the Veterans Administration Hospital in Livermore. They serve several thousand veterans each year, and there are close to 200 in residence at the Veterans Administration Hospital right there. One of the wonderful things is that the government does provide funding for the basic facility, for doctors, for nurses, but not for a lot of the therapeutic tools and aids that they need to recover completely and to get back into society in a productive way.
I was surprised to hear that because you were telling me, for example, post-traumatic stress disorder, which is becoming a more commonly recognized mental health situation following combat. There are not government funds to deal with that?
Well, there are government funds to deal with the therapists who provide services. But one of the things that's been discovered over the years is that the use of musical equipment, gardening tools, those kinds of things actually help to have various parts of the brain that have not been active become active, and it actually helps to restore some of the motor function and the reasoning of these folks, and they need that desperately.
Okay, and those are things that are not covered by insurance.
Correct.
Okay, another thing I found interesting, and of course it stands to reason, we have a lot of World War II veterans being diagnosed with Alzheimer's and so forth.
Right. Dementia at this point in time, with the number of World War II vets that are out there throughout the East Bay, is something that the VA hospital is really having to cope with in greater numbers. Second, with the Vietnam vets and Agent Orange, those kinds of issues are presenting themselves there as well.
Okay, and again, if people want to donate to the Tri-Valley Community Foundation, it's pretty easy. How do they do it?
They do it through our website, through the telephone 925-734-9965, or just call the office and talk to me, and I'll be glad to help them.
And again, it's tvcfoundation.org. Easy to do. David Rice, the president and CEO, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
And folks, give generously in these tough times. Tri-Valley Community Foundation and other charities and nonprofits throughout the Bay Area. I'm Mark Curtis. Thanks for watching Comcast Newsmakers.